Hey guys, MSF Trepidation here. We're over here on Mr. Agent Smith's Twitch tonight. We're shooting episode 3 of the MSF Happy Hour. Grab your drinks, get ready. We got lots to cover here, including a new in-game mail. We've got a patch incoming. We've got 6 new playable characters, and we've got possibly some issues with today's double exp launch, and we'll go right into talking about that. Yeah
So this is what Trep's talking about. The XP throttle, two times experience from campaigns. You can see here the amount of commander experience earned from all campaign nodes have been double. So tell us what's going on, Trep.
All right, so I was pretty excited about this event. As if you guys did not know, I recently started an alt account in which I am leveling up another account that's completely free to play. I'm targeting the Avengers as my main hero team / arena team, as well as Sinister Six. So I was pretty excited when I saw that this event was coming around, because I'm right in that I just hit 43 this morning, so I was definitely going to hit 44 with this event, which is that's the first time they give you like 5 free red star orbs. I might have even hit 46. It probably would have closed in on 50 tomorrow if I spent enough cores on energy refreshes. So I was pretty excited about that, but I did a few nodes on my alt account, and I noticed I'm not getting the WXP. Refresh the alt account, still not getting the WXP. Head over to Reddit. I threw up a post there. There's several people that were saying they're about level 60, some people below level 60, and one guy that was level 76. So he's not getting the blue XP. So I don't know how many of these people haven't refreshed their games quite yet, but basically it seems to be throttled from, basically if you're level 60 or below is what I'm understanding, you're not getting it. So I don't know if that is intentional. If it is, that's a big FU, because they definitely didn't post anything about that in the in-game event tab here, or if it's just a mistake. Are we getting some juicy compensation heading our way?
Yeah, I checked my alternate account too, and I'm at level 59 on that account, and can confirm I'm not getting the double experience there. I'm using an Android emulator, so it doesn't look like it's any kind of iOS versus Android thing or anything like that either. So my main account, which is 76, I'm getting the double experience, but I'm not on my level 59 account. So yeah, that running theory of around level 60 or level 59 and below is not getting it seems to hold some water right now. And like you said, it'd be a huge fuck you to the player base if that was intentional.
Right, and you've got, it's those low level accounts where that's a real big deal to them. Seeing yourself hop of several levels real quick, that's exciting. For me, I mean, I took my EXP bar towards level 77 maybe a tenth of the way further than I normally do. Like, it feels like it did not move too much, so like it's not really all that exciting.
Yeah, for the high level players, for players going from level 75 to 80, which is the current, kind of the current climb to where you can get into the next dark dimension. I think from level 76 all the way through, it's 425,000, if it doesn't tier, up as you get up the levels, but 425,000, 2 times experience for one night, doing 50 core refreshes doesn't do a heck of a lot to get you there any faster. It's not like you're shaving off days or even hours at that point.
No.
But as a newer player, like if you're down at level 43, or even for me, level 59 to 60, which only takes like 80,000, that's shaving off a ton of time in game to get to that next level, especially early on when you have an abundance of gold to where you can level up your tunes a lot faster. It's a huge slap in the face, and I don't really see how this couldn't be intentional. Like, I have to imagine there's not like a tiered, I mean, I'm not a game developer by any means, I have no idea what I'm talking about here, but it seems silly that they would develop in-game experience changing based on level cap, and it not just be a global setting that, experience on nodes equals this, go, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems really weird. It seems weird that it wouldn't be intentional.
Yeah, which leads me to believe that I don't know. I don't know. It's so hard to believe what it's a, they make so many errors. It's hard to believe what is hard to suss out. I guess you could say what is intentional and what is just them another mess up on their end. But
Yeah, and maybe that's intentional on their part. If they always look dumb when they do stuff, they're like, oh, it was just a mistake. They just look like they're incompetent as opposed to trying to screw over the player base on purpose, even when it is intentional.
right.
I don't know. It seems like I'm almost kind of worried too. How blown up is Reddit right now over this?
Um, let's see. Besides my post, I did notice one other. Let's see here.
Because I'd be worried that it's affecting a real small portion of the player base, that it might not get enough traction or enough visibility to where it's even addressed.
That's true. I'll have to keep promoting my my thread here. See if I can't get that.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, go on to Reddit and promote that and help the new players in the game.
Yep. Search MSF Trepidation on there and go ham on them.
Yeah, because if it is intentional, that just it's going the opposite of helping new players catch up, right? There's a lot of talk about catch-up mechanics, and so far the catch-up mechanics we've seen in game are just character offers really, really cheap. So characters that aren't as valuable to late game players because they've already either have them at 7 stars or they're not using the content that they're doing. You know, spending $3 on 50 character shards doesn't mean a whole lot for us, but for newer players, it shaves off months of farming in some cases, you know.
Exactly. And that's another important thing to mention there is you're saying a catch-up mechanic is a new player offer for $2. It's all about spending money for most of these catch-up mechanics. They have added orbs to leveling up. They've added a lot of the what do they call those, legacy orbs?
Mm-hmm.
Those you do get frequently while leveling up. So that's some free catch-up mechanic, I guess you could say. But the majority of the catch-up mechanic is, hey, you guys spend X amount of money. Like, it's not, you know, where this is a great opportunity for them to give away something free to help people catch up across the board. Like,
yeah, this is a perfect example. 50 Scientist Supreme shards for $2. Scientist Supreme and AIM is a great team for earlier players. I'm not really worried about it, even though this would almost 7-star Scientist Supreme for me, and a lot of other players already have a 7-star Scientist Supreme. I'm a little different because I, generally speaking, don't farm characters past 6 to 7. So like these 245 shards all came, you know, naturally or whatever from whatever orbs opening. But and if I was still using Scientist Supreme heavily in raids, but I'm not, I would get her. And I don't think there's many new players or late game players at our level and beyond that would even consider buying this because they've probably already got her or they're not using her anymore. But to an early player, like if my alternate account wasn't free to play, I would buy that immediately, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she's a great character. I mean, the AIM team is a powerhouse team early on. They just don't, I don't know. It's just slow and unexciting. But
yeah,
you know, it's definitely it's definitely worth $2 if you're the kind of person that's going to spend, you know, $45 a month on a mobile game. That's not a bad way to spend, you know, the 50% of what you're going to spend monthly.
Right. Yeah, but not being able to have the 2 times experience as a new player is a huge slap in the face if that's intentional.
For sure.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it is just a mistake of some kind, even though it would seem crazy to me that it could be a mistake. But like you said, we've seen him screw up a ton.
And if it is intentional, it's one thing if they would have mentioned it ahead of time at the very least. Like, you know, it'd be shitty. But at least you would have known. Like, you wouldn't have sat around excited like I was, and then like, yeah, I'm gonna make some progress, and yeah. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, I think I put in a ticket. I see some other people respond to the post about putting in tickets. So I hope that I'll reply to these people to let me know. But I hope that at least they address it. Hopefully it does gain enough traction between Reddit and other tickets. You know, I don't know, maybe you know, some of the other streamers are talking about it. We'll see, but
yeah, hopefully some of the other streamers that gain a lot more traction, some people in their chats are picking up on this as well, and they're answering it, and we'll bring this to community managers' attention, and we'll get some justice for the new players, hopefully. Just the latest in the line of screw ups by Scopely.
But what's sad is you almost hope it was unintentional, because then you see that compensation hitting your inbox.
Right. I wonder what compensation would be for something like that.
My guess
energy
would be,
right?
Yeah, my guess it would be straight energy, like 400 energy or something. You know, enough to, you know, something like that. That would be fair.
But even that, it's like they had to set it up to where it's compensation for only the players that didn't have the event active to them, or they need to just patch real quick to where players have access to it. I don't know, but I mean, it seems too small of an event for them to do that.
You can't even patch it real quick. I mean, there's people on here that are already saying, I've already spent all my energy before I even noticed.
Yeah, it'll have to come in the form of energy, and we'll see what they do.
Yeah.
Oh, another, I guess something to point out real quick, too. Doom's Influence, only 30 days left. Not knowing how they're going to shake these up after Doom's Influence, if it'll go back to, you know, what they originally were. But if you're an earlier player farming or trying to farm Captain Marvel, you only got 30 days left to get to that node to do it, if you're not there yet.
She's definitely worth getting a 7-star. She's still a powerhouse on war defense, at least where we're at. You know, maybe at top tier where you're doing full clears in the first 13 hours of war, whatever the hell it is, she's not much of an issue. But I know for me, she's still doing work on my Avengers team on defense. So definitely worth the investment.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. All right. That kind of leads us into Black Bolt. Black Bolt's legendary event came back around. If you don't have Black Bolt yet, now's your chance in the next 3 days to unlock them. I'm going to be looking at getting my 7-star. I haven't fought it yet, but I'll be able to get that later today on stream. Got everybody ready to go. I shouldn't have an issue getting 7-star. And I don't have the 7th red star yet, though, unfortunately. So I'm still
such a beast.
Just the 6 reds.
Mine's that was the first promotion I bought to 7, and the only promotion I bought to 7, and I have 0 regrets about that.
I haven't bought anyone to 7. I'll look at my roster real quick, and I guess this will get into the next thing. We'll do a quick roster review. We'll switch it over to your game as well. Checking out my red stars. 6 red and Black Bolt. I promoted him to 6 red. I promoted Phoenix to 6 red. I got those all naturally. Those 5s are all natural. I'm looking at just legendaries now. There. Shield Security and Hand Sentry were my natural 7 red star pulls. I got them out of regular orbs. I got them a long time ago, over a year ago. I haven't had a 7 pull since then. Promoted Black Bolt. Pulled a Colossus out of an elite, I'm pretty sure. Pulled a Psylocke out of an elite. Phoenix was a promotion because having a strong Phoenix is awesome. Everything else has been natural pulls. I think those are the only high promotions I made. I may have promoted a 4 to a 5 here and there, but nothing of real notice. But yeah, no promotions to 7. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my credits.
Yeah, Wakanda on Friday, so...
I've got 20 gold promotion now. How many did we get for the second run through DD3?
Second run through DD3, you get 300, I believe. 300?
Yeah, so all 2 to 7 or 3 to 6, right?
Yep.
Thanos is calling my name a bit. I don't know. Maybe Thanos and Black Bolt. That might be the triggers I pull. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I would. I don't know. I might hold off on Thanos now. A few months ago, I probably would have gotten the 7th Red Star. I did promote him to 6, and that was huge for Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a 7 Red Star Thanos. That's obviously that's even bigger. But I don't know. I'm kind of worried about with the amount of characters they're releasing. People were complaining about 4 characters the patch, and we're getting 6 next patch. So.
Right.
If that's going to continue to be the way of the future, then we have to think about what's going to creep on Black Order's ability to stay top tier in Arena, and is spending 150 on him right now worth it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably don't know enough about X Factor to know whether or not they'll be, in the talk of countering Black Order. Plus, there's already hard counters to Black Order in Arena.
Yep.
That are getting used daily here. So, they're just they're a beast in war defense still. I don't even have a huge Black Order team, and they're winning defensive wars for me.
Yeah, people underestimate them.
Well, in most cases, because so many of those counter teams include war defense characters that are already on the Marauders. So if you have, Black Order in defense, you don't have those arena hard counters on offense to go after them.
That's right.
Or you've got to break up a team.
You've got to break up several teams for most of those counters.
Right. So that's what makes them tough on war defense. So yeah, I don't know. I like to do things more specifically focused towards Arena, because I know most of the time those Arena characters I'm also using in Dark Dimension, I'm also using in War, I'm also using in Blitz, and on and on and on. If they're good in Arena, they're useful in almost every other game mode. At least all but maybe one, right?
Right.
So it's always valuable to put resources into Arena characters, but yeah, I tend to like to save resources anyway, so like I had opportunities to take Black Bolt to 7 Red Star instead of other characters to 6 Red Star, but I chose the 6 Red because I was getting immediate benefit from it, where I wouldn't with Black Bolt until now. So yeah, I don't know, but I might put into Black Bolt just because Black Bolt's still OP, and it'll probably be a character I take into Dark Dimension 4 when it eventually happens. Or I'll save them. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out what to do right now. I mean, if I was in your position where I'd be getting those 300 again, I'd probably be saving them for a little bit.
I think that might be what I do then. Other than that, I'm not really working on a specific team right now. I've put a few more resources into ISO for Black Bolt to get Black Bolt to 5 ISO, which is probably a mistake. That's probably completely unnecessary, but especially now because of all the ions that took to do that. But I have at least all my teams at level 1 to level 3 ISO that I use in War. I use regularly anyway, so I've done as much as I really cared for individual teams with ISO that I decided to just focus on the characters after that until I have a reason to go other directions.
Yeah. Have you put anything into Femtech at all? Are you?
I haven't, and I'm after starting to see a full Pimtech teams come out, and the current people that are in DD4 starting to go through it, not taking full teams of Pimtech into DD4, and seeing a lot of kind of mixed results on Pimtech as a team as a whole. I don't think I am going to go too hard on it. I haven't put any ISO into them.
Okay.
I will once I get the full team available to me. I'll now that once I get the ions to get Black Bolt to 5, since I've already basically got him there, this will be my next project. It'll be getting, level 3 ISO on Pimtech maybe, but level 1 for sure, still have to think about 3 just because I'm not so sure of their usefulness to me at this point.
Sure. Yeah.
Number 1, I have low stars, right? So it's not like I could max them out and they'll just be an overpowering team. So I don't have that going for me. I'm almost done with DD3, so I don't have any reason to take these guys directly up to, up to gear tier 14, and it would just be pointless because I'm already past the global nodes. So
you want to do a 3rd run for fun?
Yeah, I don't want to do a 3rd run for fun. Yeah, so right now, sticking them at level 71, calling it a day there. I almost kind of regret that too, to tell you the truth. I almost regret taking them up to level 71, where I used to have Ant-Man and Wasp sitting at level 60 gear tier 9 or 10. I moved them all to level 71 gear tier 12, and now after seeing some gameplay and mixed results, I kind of regret taking them up that far.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there. I actually took them both up to 75 in gear tier 12. So, once I have the whole team, I'll regret it a little less because it will be another Blitz team. We've got Simblitz coming.
Yeah.
They seem like they have enough synergy to win most fights. That, if you're not going against a super meta team. So maybe I'll regret it a little less then, but...
Yeah, I don't think they're a bad team by any means. I just think, for example, in the last war, I don't remember what team... I think it may have been against a Young Avengers team that I took them at a punch across, and obviously I didn't have Ghost nor Yellow Jacket, so it was just Ant-Man, Wasp, Stature, and I had in I took in Ultron and I think Minerva, and at punch across against a few. So I did Young Avengers one war, and another war I did another decent war defense team. Nothing, not like the Marauders or anything like that. But they did okay. I mean, Ultron makes every team better, right? But
yeah.
So there's that to contend with, but they did okay and they all survived, and it was a good match. But yeah, I just don't know. I feel pretty underwhelmed.
Sure. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. The other thing to think about too is these are just like, it's like the Ultra Krakens going in there, right now. So they're probably just bringing in whatever they're bringing in. They might not have the gear 15 minis for 4 tech and 1 bio character, But
right.
Yeah, it seems to be that the common thread is, if you're going to take any up, it's going to be Stature, Ghost, Yellow Jacket, and you're going to feed in, Sinister and somebody else for global. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. From an efficiency standpoint, we really don't know what the best combination is yet. These guys are just trying to get in, and spending lots of money to get it done as fast as possible. So we'll see.
Yeah. Any new T4s?
No new T4s. Been saving those for next round of characters. I think the last T4s I put on were on Thanos, actually. I put the T4s on his ultimate, which I didn't have before, and his special, which I didn't have before. I just had his passive.
I think I have his basic and then his passive right now. And his basic was for the bleed damage on his empowered basic. Get those what do you call them, level 7 bleed or whatever.
Okay, plus supply bleed. Yeah, I don't know. I probably will never do this now, just because I don't use my Black Order in my arena, because my Black Order, not being a player that paid for stars on the other characters or blitzed like a maniac for the blitz characters, I don't have high stars or red stars on the rest of the team, to where they're no use on defense because of the counters that are available, and my other arena offense team does just fine on arena off. So
right.
I didn't want to throw too much more into him. I was really just hoping the empowered Celestial Barrage here, which I always felt, talking to you, was very underwhelming, would be more what it's supposed to be, and it's still just not.
You're dropping a planet on somebody. It should hurt.
Yeah, it should hurt a lot more than it does, and it just feels like, yeah. I mean, for example, for this symbiosis event that's going on, just for extra points to where I can decrease the amount of blitzing I need to do with symbiotes to complete all the milestones, I used full symbiotes against Black Orders in Arena, and they can punch down 50, you know, at best probably 50k with some good luck RNG. You got to punch down with them. They're not going to beat in a punch across without some crazy good RNG. But if you find a low cull and an 80k to 120k punch down on Black Order, which I do because I went real hard on my symbiotes, and I'm in like just hitting through top 100 in Arena, I can beat Black Order with my symbiotes. And boy, when they have defense up and immunity to where they don't get slowed by Ebony Maw, and they have the defense up and Thanos has the offense down, dude, they take that barrage hit like it's nothing.
Yep.
So
yeah,
it feels real bad.
I've been using them a bit too. Like I was surprised at some of the fights I'm winning. I punched down like 40k the other day on them. Like I started the battle, hit auto, walked away. I was just doing it for the milestones, and I was surprised to come back and see Call dead, and I don't know if it was Proxima or Corvus dead. And I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna play this one.
Yeah, with punch downs, a lot, especially over the holiday weekend, because you know, Thanksgiving and family time and all that good stuff. I would go into Arena with symbiotes, find a huge punch down with Black Order, target call and hit auto, and I don't know, at least 50% of the time, maybe more, I was winning that fight. So that was enough to maintain my Arena and do as little bit as possible in game. Yeah, so that's the latest T4s. Other than that, I'm saving my T4s for new characters, and that's kind of where I'm at in my roster now. So like I'm a light spender, right? I spend maybe 25 to 50 bucks a month if there's new characters, right?
Right.
And that's probably even shooting high. If there's really good offers, I'll buy really good offers. As essentially is kind of how my spending habits are now in game. But now I'm almost to a point where I'm just saving for new teams to come out, saving a bunch of resources, saving gold, saving training of, you know, materials to see if the new team's worth investing into or not, rather than bringing up old teams.
Yeah, that's probably the safe route to go right now. I mean, I'm very interested to see what these new mutants are going to be, and there's a lot of talk about them being really good in raids, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, what comes of that. And you know, are they going to be DD4 because they're mutant and they're what do you call it, cosmic? And so yeah, they could be a really good investment, you know, right from the beginning. So
right,
it'll be interesting to see. I may start saving some T4s again. I still have a decent amount of T4s, but I've got some stuff I'm juggling in my head to see if I want to do or not.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about most of the T4s that I've already spent, that I've not wasted anything, that I'm using it, you know, those resources efficiently. And we seem to be getting a lot more of those now that we're doing U7.5 compared to, you know, a few months back when we were just barely getting into U7 in the Alliance. So
yeah.
Yeah, so that's about it for my roster. We'll switch over to your screen here, and
yeah, let me get that queued up here.
Give your roster a view.
Oh, I gotta.
Yeah, your main screen now.
Yep. And there we go.
140,000.
And there's my boy.
So you got him maxed out in the ISO department too.
Yeah.
I thought you were throwing a little shade my way for putting 5 ISO into him.
No, not at all. I don't. Everything should be put in the black vault right away. The only reason I haven't done this yet is because I'm still weary about Gear 15, but I can't have Astrios have a higher one than me, so let's go ahead and get that. and make sure that I'm at least tied with him.
Is that where his is at right now? The 141,930 then?
Yeah, he had that. I noticed he had that one gear piece on. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to do that now.
That's great. Yeah, so it
All right.
looks like you're farming Ironheart, Negasonic, Doctor Strange, huh? You know something I don't know?
No, not really. My supernatural team is all 7 stars except for him. There's talk about Blade coming to the game. I'm curious how that might affect Supernatural. Also, the WandaVision TV series and leading into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, or whatever they're calling that movie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious if he's going to gain some new synergy with her, or if there's a rework coming to him. So he's favored it. He doesn't actually see, I don't farm his node that often. It's just there if I have excess energy to farm him.
Okay.
And that's kind of the same with Ironheart right now. So she was my villain's farm, so that I'd get my villain daily. But that's now Merc Lieutenant, because he's my one missing piece to get all 7-star mercs for the payday event.
Okay.
So that's why he's on the board. Once he's gone, Ironheart will revert back to being my villain farm. Negasonic, I'm just trying to get her to 6 so that I can get 6-star Doc Ock when he comes back around. There's nothing else I'm actually planning on doing with Stature at the moment. So I have put D4s in her. I still think she's going to be a big part of my DD4 global team. I think her, Ghost, and Yellow Jacket are going to be a big part of that, but we'll see.
It's a lot of tech gear. So you're going to try to go non-tech for the other the other areas? You might be able to.
Yeah, so she's bio. Ghost.
Oh, that's right. She is bio.
Yeah, so Ghost and Yellow Jacket will be tech. She'll be bio. And then if all goes well, I'm thinking Sinister will always be good in Dark Dimension. Between throwing all of his buffs around, his constant healing, the fact that I can clone another character, that kit's never going to be, undervalued, I guess you could say. I mean, I don't think, like, as soon as I'm able to equip these things, I'll equip them on him. I don't see any downfall to that at all.
Yeah, Mr. Sinister's kind of a character that actually scales up the game, right? Because of the cloning ability.
Right. And then if I have an excess of mutant max, I'm thinking Emma. Another character I don't think you can really go wrong with. I mean, she's such a powerhouse on war defense. So putting resources into her, you're just making it more of a headache in war for the opposing team. She's great in arena for countering Black Order. She's part of many Black Order counters. She's great in what do we call it? What are they calling it now? Verse battle,
real-time arena.
Yeah, whatever it is
Eventually.
that's supposedly going to be tied into the battle pass. She's a great character for that. So
yeah,
there's really no going wrong putting materials into her as well. So we'll see.
Do you think it's worth waiting until Longshot and Shatterstar come out before you start putting resources in, your mutant gear into them?
Into anyone but Sinister, yes. I think it's definitely worth waiting. For me, I use Sinister every day in almost every mode, but he's a backup character in U7.5. I haven't had to use him in a while just because symbiotes are symbiotes, but
yeah, so it's just working.
Yeah, I mean he's currently my arena defense. Blitz every day. I don't know. Maybe it will be worth holding off for just to see what they are, because they should be right around the corner in December, and I actually don't expect to be. I don't even know if we'll be level 77 by the time that comes around. So
right.
I may be forced to wait anyway. So
who all have you taken to level 76 now?
Sinister. Let's see here. Sinister, my whole Black Order, including Thanos, Black Bolt, and that. Oh yeah, did I say my symbiotes? My symbiotes, if I hadn't.
You didn't say symbiotes, but okay.
I think that's it.
I thought you could filter by that, but I guess you can't.
Uh, character power, gear tier. No, yeah.
Yeah, so I took Thanos, Black Bolt, Ebony Maw, and that's it. Those are the only 3 characters I've taken to 76 so far. And
Yeah, I figured any edge I can get in arena. I still use my black order in arena to punch up really high on these non-black order teams that are just littered in the top 50 area.
How are you doing on training materials?
Question. Not too bad. Ghost is the one I'm currently bringing up. I don't know how much further than 60 I'm gonna go. Like I said, I still think she's gonna play a big part in my DD4 team.
God, you have... I'm blown away with the training materials that you have right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was definitely I was down to like a few hundred green ones at some point, and I don't know. I've just worked my way back up. I don't know how, but I'm not buying orbs or anything like that. In fact, I have 15 training orbs to open still. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't have training orbs.
I was down to next to nothing, and I was like, damn, I finally hit Agent Smith's problem, and
now you've solved the problem somehow. I'd like to know how you solved the problem, because I've been, like I said, I'm to the point where I'm not upgrading old teams almost at all. I'm saving all my gear, materials, everything for when new characters are released, and I'm still on a crunch for training materials right now. If I wanted to, I couldn't take a player up to level 75 from level 1, so I can't take a new character up to max level if they turn out to be, a phenomenal character.
Right. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, can I do that with what I got? I could go 25 to 71.
Okay. Well, it looks a little... Go back into that then real quick. Yeah, it just looks a little... Go back all the way down to nothing. Just to see what you're... Yeah, so you have... I don't have any oranges, but I have 62 purple, 2800 blue, and 30 and 3000 green. I can go up to level 73 if I wanted to. It's all right. Okay. Yeah, we're back in the same boat. It just... You having oranges threw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's obviously the bottleneck, right? Because you're probably sitting pretty good on gold.
Actually, gold is I've got no gold orbs at the moment. I'll have them once the raid rewards come in, but I'm sitting on 1.4 million right now, and I've been spending around $1 million a day. So some days it's been a little bit more. When I first unlocked Ghost, I was spending like 1.8 million or something like that. But
yeah, so we're still a little bit opposite, because I've got 30 gold orbs I'm sitting on.
Oh wow!
For when I need to use them, but I can't use them because I don't have the training materials to use them.
Sure.
And it works both ways.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I have my eye on a couple of gold offers. Just looking at them right now. I don't know. I probably won't pull the trigger. I'll probably just wait on it, but we'll see. T4s. Well, these are recent. The stature ones. Ability only costing 3 rather than 4, more damage.
Yep.
And this one guaranteeing 2 energy to all pimp deck allies. I think those are for top tier ones. You could argue this one for the extra health, but that's only in Dark Dimension, and since I'm nowhere near Dark Dimension, and I will probably gain a couple thousand more T4s between now and Dark Dimension 4, it's not really a concern.
Yeah, so how many T4s are you sitting on right now?
I'm currently sitting on 763. I recently... What did I recently do? Actually, let's look at my Avengers. So I've been kind of working them up for war defense. I recently grabbed Cap's passive for the extra 20% max health for him in Wave 1 Avengers in War. So in War, he gains. They both gain. What is it? Yeah, so they both gain
40% health. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you run them with? Do you run a full Wave 1 Avengers, or do you have Captain Marvel on that team?
I have Captain Marvel on that team.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. I think that works really well. I've heard a lot of people start to split up as Guardians and tossing Thor on that team, and putting in like Drax or Shuri. I've heard, which was a weird one, and a few other characters. I haven't tried it myself to know how it's going to work out. We have some alliance mates that have tried to do that we might have to ask, but I just don't really see the value of breaking up the Asgardians. Like I get they're a lower defense team now, but taking the synergy away from them, regardless of who it is, and then placing another character on there, I don't think if you're making an improvement, it's a marginal improvement, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with doing it personally. I mean, it may work if you have a roster in which, you know, the rest of your guys Guardians are like 45k and your Thor's like mine 93k. Sure, split them up, you know, because they're probably not winning anyways. But I mean, Thor is such a big. If you're an evenly power distributed as Guardians, Thor is such a big part of that team in terms of their damage. It's really his passive going off nonstop. That's, you know, that's what takes other teams out. But so I don't know. I haven't tried that yet. I don't really have much. I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm going to try that at all right now. I did try Agent Coulson on Avengers and just doing a full
Fury Minion team.
Yeah, Fury Minion team, and it did not perform as well like separately. You know, they took a much lower team into my Fury Minions, and I forget what they took out my Avengers plus Coulson with, but just the results were no good. I mean,
yeah, I mean, if you take Coulson off that team, Brotherhood 2.0 can punch up so much higher, right?
Yeah, for sure. In fact, the only weird thing I've done, the only real mix-up I've done, and it's actually proven to be very useful against some alliances, is throwing Blob onto my Marauders.
Yeah.
On war defense, and that's throwing people off. It does limit my Brotherhood's ability to punch up on Fury Coulson, but they can still do it. So I still have two teams to defeat them with. Actually, more than two. There's quite a few teams I can defeat them now, but yeah, I don't see at least at my roster and my power level, I don't see the benefit of breaking up either Asgardians or Shield Coulson right now.
Yeah, and I think you touched on what is kind of the most important part about it is if you're going to break up a team in war, if you know it makes your defense team better, like Blob on Marauders, or it throws a wrench into how people normally fight them so they just don't know it yet, and that leads to more defensive wins, you can't let it affect your ability to win battles on offense, right? So as long as, like, if you're taking Blob off of your Brotherhood, you can still use Brotherhood with another replacement and still they function for you where you use them normally, then sure, do it. But if that completely destroys your offensive team, I don't think it's worth dismantling an offensive team just to have a little bit better luck on a defensive team, because still at the end of the day, the original Marauders are still, if they're high enough, are going to get you defensive wins, or they're going to require a higher offensive team, or, you know, a high-powered team to defeat them. That it's still going to be a win-win. Right. You almost hurt yourself more by getting rid of an offensive team, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely a balance to be had. How's it going, G-Fox?
All right. Anything else in the roster?
No, not really. I mean, I've been debating. Um, I know I debated Gear Tier 14 Thor for a long while, but his stats increased quite a bit when I did that, and I don't think I'll regret that. We'll see what they do in War.
I see that. So was that a recent Tier 14 upgrade?
Yeah, that was just the other day, actually. Like, I've been literally thinking about doing it for about 3 or 4 weeks now. And I just pulled the trigger the other day.
My dog Ghost is joining the stream.
Yeah. And then I recently, these are more recent too. I did the Proxima and the Corvus basics so that they always assist each other.
Okay.
But other than that, I haven't done much more. I've been debating putting more into Avengers. I just don't know how much. We'll have to see if they're still getting me a win or two every war, and if so, I might put one in here for the extra speed bar, and we'll see. I don't want to get below 500 before these 2 new mutants come out. So
I try to normally stay at 1,000 myself, T4s, to where I'm ready for a new tune to come out. I've been so paranoid with spending my resources with the new characters coming out to try not to miss out, because when Black Order was first announced and they came out, I didn't have the resources saved up to put a ton into them at the time. So I didn't, and Black Order became an afterthought for me. And I don't want that to happen again with new characters that end up becoming very important to the game, to where I'm just like, save the resources for the next one. You're in a good enough spot. I don't know.
Right.
So I'm sitting on 1,600 T4s right now, and
1,600. Geez.
Yeah, I'm just struggling with pulling the trigger on
a couple things. Come on.
Like you had mentioned the Proxima and Corvus basics, to where they always assist on one another. I haven't done those because it's just like I only use them. I mean, they function well enough for me on defense in war, which is where I use them now. They still win everything at 8.3 on Blitz, and I occasionally use them in Arena. I just don't have the stars or red stars on, Cull or Proxima. I mean, my Proxima is a 3 red star. My Cull's 4 yellow, 4 red, to where it's not like I'm going to get them to the power level that in my arena is top 25. The Black Orders that are top 25 in my arena right now are insanely powerful. It's like 200k more than mine. So it's like, am I doing this for 10 more spots in arena? Because if that's the case, it doesn't bring me into the next tier,
Right. So actually, I remember this now. This is my most recent T4, and this is the last one I've done, and it's Cyclops' passive. I talked to you the other day how I'm starting to work him up, and actually Gear Tier 11 him now, but I've been sitting on him for a while. I only had him at 3 red stars. I decided to use the credits to get the 4th red star. We're closing in on 7 stars. We're getting 120 credits for him in the December calendar. So
yeah,
it's a good time to put some work into him. And I just kicked. I've been debating kicking Wolverine or Storm off my X-Men team right now, and so far it's Wolverine at the moment, but.
Yeah, probably for sure Wolverine outside. I mean, if you're going to use him in raids, which you can totally do if you have Beast. You don't have to have Beast to use him in raids, but Beast helps because of the healing.
Sure.
If they're overpowered enough, you can use them. Like I use them in the Gamma raids on all the available nodes for mutants, and Phoenix never dies now. That'll be interesting to see what happens with the sliders, but right now they don't die. Phoenix doesn't die. Cyclops, the passive is super important to his kit because it gets him from 10 to 20 charges and makes the power of that attack just astronomical, to where you almost don't need Phoenix, honestly. At least on those raids and that type of content. But yeah, a lot of the time, facing even powered or lower powered teams, Phoenix doesn't die, and you're using Beast heals, and Cyclops ult to let it rip. And if you get a charged up Storm going on with that too, forget about it. They're still my favorite team to play, partially just because I love the X-Men, but they're a lot of fun. Totally worth it. Cyclops is great.
Yeah. We'll put some ISO into him. I'll have to figure out what I want to do class-wise, but I know you had mentioned, I think you said you have yours as Striker, but Fortifier might be the way to go just because he's squishy at times, or...
Yeah, just because he's a little bit squishy. So if you're trying to punch up a Cyclops and you don't have high stars on him yet, or he's got the health, it's possible he can die pretty quickly if he gets focused down. And positioning matters too from that perspective. Keep him away from Colossus at that point to where he doesn't take a hit, but he's pretty susceptible to AoEs obviously still, even if Colossus is taunting, because it's an AoE, and
right.
he doesn't take hits that great. So if you find him dying, I would say put Fortifier on him to help him survive, but that'd be it.
Gotcha.
Just because he needs to survive long enough to get the 20 charges, which Beast helps with that. If you're not using Beast with Cyclops where you can get the 20 charges fast enough, you might find him dying pretty frequently.
Yeah, I don't have Beast. My Beast is still at the lower end of my roster.
Yeah, so I would say
I got 3 stars.
I would say before you commit to either Striker or Fortifier, try him out first and see if he's happening to die more on you, and if he's happening to die a lot, put Fortifier on him. But if he's not, toss Striker on him, I think is the way to go.
Alright, we'll see how it goes this war, actually, and maybe you'll get some raid action, actually. We'll see. We'll see.
Alright. Alright, so I think probably the last thing to touch on, we got some in-game mail today. Update coming soon.
Hop back to your account.
So update coming soon. It'll be tough to see most of this, but so a new Marvel Strike Force update is coming soon, including real-time arena and Mojo's Mayhem, 6 new playable characters, battle sim for Blitz, holiday events and sales, new event campaign, and more. So get ready for these and other big changes coming soon. So this is it's a longer update, right? Because they're going into the holiday season, because I don't think we'll have an update in January. If we do, it'll be late January. So it's going to be longer than usual in between patches, and I think that's why it's 6 new playable characters. So I think right off the bat that sounds like a lot more than usual, but it's still probably consistent with the pace that they've been releasing new characters, is my guess. Could be totally wrong on that, but my guess is it's still a similar pace to what they've been releasing characters. And there's lots of rumors floating around on what those characters are. The only ones that have been confirmed are Longshot and Shatterstar, I believe. I don't think we've had any confirmation of other characters, have we?
No, I guess there's been a lot of teasing of Kitty Pryde and Iceman.
Right.
And then Gambit and Rogue, but that's... People are thinking a Valentine's event for them, maybe.
Yeah, I've heard lots of rumors on either way too. That's the most recent one I've heard that makes sense, is Gambit and Rogue being February Valentine's Day releases. So 2 other non-mutant characters probably. Sometimes they sneak in there as a playable character, means that you can clone them with Sinister and they become playable. You know, I've heard that rumor floating around that maybe they're just doing that, but who knows. What we know for sure is Shatterstar and Longshot. What's that?
That would be so shitty.
Oh yeah, that'd be just the worst.
Characters, if you have Sinister.
It's like 6 new playable characters. We get Longshot and Shatterstar, and the other 4 are just enemies that you can clone. That'd be the worst. And we know Shatterstar is an event campaign that's going to be launching during this patch.
I'm going to... that's going to be the first one where I hoard the orbs.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try that too. I didn't do that for Stature, but going to try to just save all the orbs till the end is what you're talking about?
Yeah, I've had shit luck the last few times. My Stature is... What is she? She's 4 stars, and she is 35 out of 130, and that's doing all 50 core refreshes and 2 100 core refreshes every single day except for the last 2 days of the event. So
yeah, I did about the same. I wasn't able to keep up with the hundreds right off the bat because I didn't have the cores until just recently. So there's a few days in there where I didn't do the 100 core refreshes, but my stature is only, boy, halfway maybe to, if that. Okay, a little bit past that. 92 of 130. I wasn't close. So towards the end, the last couple days there, I just said, forget it. I didn't do the 100 core refreshes because I knew I wasn't going to get there.
right.
But for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, there was a guy on stream a week and a half ago. And he brought up that he never opens the orbs during the event, only opens them after the event, and he only does the 50 energy refreshes on the campaign event nodes, and has always gotten 5 stars for those characters.
So either there's something to it or he's got amazing luck.
Right. So this event campaign coming up for Shatterstar, Trep and I are both going to not open orbs and not recruit the character until we've opened all those orbs at the end of the event. So we'll see if we get 5-star Shatterstars because of that, or if we just have bad luck. We'll see.
It's probably the latter.
Probably the latter. What I'm actually most excited for is Simblitz coming out and getting to play around with how that's going to work. And we've talked a little bit about it. I'm really curious whether or not the battle sim for Blitz is going to decrease the chances of winning when compared to just starting and autoing a Blitz. Like how Black Order can basically win every Blitz on 8.3 right now, and X-Men can win basically everything unless they're fighting Black Order, right?
Right.
Those types of matchups to see whether or not Simblitz decreases that win rate even further to where it's, however that ratio works, to where Black Order doesn't always win no matter what. I'm curious to try that out and see how they do it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's going to be interesting. I really hope they don't tune it like difficulty wise and screw us over with that. I don't feel like they will, because people have been asking for reduced time in game, and Simblitz is the best way to reduce time in game. And if they tune it in that fashion, I think there'll be a big outcry within the player base. So I'm assuming it won't be too harsh.
On the same note of that, though, is it not beneficial to add a second layer of difficulty in like that to reward the players who are actually putting the time in the game?
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. It's
from the free-to-play player aspect, I could, it's what it comes down to. I still, even when I blitz, and I'm blitzing hard in 8.3, I'm still doing it on auto. I'm just searching for the matchups that are, non-synergy based teams that I know will win, right? And I can do that with maybe somewhere between 10 and 15 of my teams. They're able to auto in 8.3, and the other 10 or so teams, I need to actually play the battle to some level in order to get through it.
So even when you are autoing at 8.3, how long does it take you, do you think, to get through a rotation, autoing everything?
That's a good question. So if my first rotation in the game, which I use every single character, it's like 29 full teams right now. It takes me like 45 minutes if I'm going quick enough, and I have my teams oriented in a fashion where they will auto in those tiers. When I'm fighting in 8.3 and I'm only using the teams that I know can win on auto, and the handful of teams I know that if I can find the right matchup, I can win with, at least picking targets or starting the match on manual, it'll take me about a half an hour to get through it. So where auto blitz, if it goes similar to the same, it's only like, probably 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes to go through your roster.
Which is, yeah. So, yeah, I really hope they don't mess it up in that fashion, because that to me is going to be huge. That to me is going to, that'll be the biggest quality of life upgrade this game has made, doing that, because there's nothing I hate more than blitzing, especially when you got new character blitz and you're sitting there blitzing and you're trying to blitz every 2 hours or close to it.
Yeah.
If it's taking you a half hour to auto it as is, your 8.3 roster, that's hours out of your day. That's many hours out of your day. So
yeah, in order to do that, you're spending the majority of your time still in the game, because like you said, so every 2 hours you're spending a half an hour in game. So you spend a half hour in game and you got an hour and a half to do something else before you got to get right back into it, if you wanted to be that on top of it. There's not a lot you can do in an hour and a half when you're working or you're busy or you've got to go out and do stuff. I mean, it's not really feasible to maintain that unless you can dedicate not doing anything for 3 days.
Right. And most people cannot do that. So
yeah, I'm excited to try that out and see how it works.
I have high hopes. Don't mess it up for me, Scopely. Don't do it.
Yeah, so some good stuff coming out this patch, and that patch, if they stick to the normal release schedule for patches, it should be Tuesday, December 8th. So a week from tomorrow, we should be able to finally start trying out Battle Sim for Blitz and Real Time Arena and get all the details on Mojo's Mayhem and see what that's all about. Yeah. Or at least some information. Just because the patch is released doesn't mean that's all going to go live, I suppose, on 12/8. So we'll have to find out what's actually released day one and what's going to be further into the patch.
Yeah, it's a big patch no matter what. So it's definitely a lot to look forward to, and looking forward to compensation when they fuck up 1/3 of it, and there's a lot to look forward to in the next couple weeks here.
I'm curious what the and more is going to be too.
It's the compensation.
Right. All right, guys. Well, that about sums it up for this episode of the MSF Happy Hour. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You can catch all my details for Twitch and all that good stuff in the description section on MSF Trepidation's YouTube, where this video will be posted. If you're watching this on the Twitch pod, you can find Trepidation's info below in the About section of my Twitch. And we'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Cheers.